What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdins all? Your buddy Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie Presents Legendary Gaming is back! And I'm not alone this time. Tommy V is with me.
Hello.
Bring it down.
Bring it down.
Getting a little too excited there, Tom.
I have to
Don't
temper your
scare
excitement.
people off.
Yes.
Alright, so a little while ago, me and Tom, we received Battle for the Universe.
Dun, dun.
And we were pretty intrigued. We were looking forward to it, actually, because it's a superhero game. And there's not a lot of superhero games out there, at least that don't have collectible in them. That's for sure. Like, collectible dice games don't even get me freaking started on that hot mess. That rabbit hole is well buried over in my life. Let me tell you, I'm not jumping down that again. But regardless, there aren't a lot of really great ones. It's one of the genres that has probably the least amount of games in it. So we were both really excited. We love comic books.
Yes. Looking forward to this.
So we gave it a few run-throughs, and it's a 2-player game. It goes for once you know the game, it'll run you about anywhere from 15 to maybe 35, 40 minutes, depending on how cutthroat you're getting in the game. And it's good for I think it was 14 and up.
Yeah,
I gotta double check that. And it's a 2-player game. Two
players.
That's why there's 2 reviewers. So why don't we take a look, and me and Tom will give you a quick overview of how the game is played, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so this is the board. Actually, it's 2 boards.
See here, the
Tom was sitting over there. I was sitting over here.
right. It's broken up into heroes and villains.
I was the villain.
I was the hero. Project Canada.
International Crime Syndicate.
And we started out by laying out all the cards.
Yeah, we took our decks. We went through the rules. The rules tell you exactly how many cards you're going to have in the deck. It's a deck building game. For the purposes of the review, I think it was like 1 card each of us had to pull out of the deck. That was all we were really over. But yeah, so you make your locations. You get your location cards.
Yes.
And you're going to set them. You're going to shuffle them up. And then you're going to place them out. Well, I should start with when you choose the team.
Yes.
You choose one of them to be your team leader.
Your team leader. That's right. Mine was Commander Canada,
and I was the Obsidian Jaguar.
And that's laid out right in the middle of the game, in the center of the game.
Yes, and then you get to the location.
Exactly. And you lay them all out in this grid panel.
We're starting with the first one above the team leader, and then going around.
Right.
And they're shuffled. They're being put out randomly. You don't know what's going to be there.
Exactly.
And then after that, it starts the pages. That's what they call rounds in this game.
Right.
You have a comic book feel, and in the page there's panels.
Yes.
Is what they call everything that you're doing.
Right, to give it like a very comic book superhero-y feel.
Yeah. And so during the panel, the villain always goes first. Just like in any good story, any good movie, any good novel, it always starts with the antagonist doing something.
Right.
So I had moved up because your little team icons there start on the team leader, and you get 1 free movement. Now you could spend 10 of this stuff called clout. You can see it there.
Clout is like chutzpah.
It's like your energy.
Energy.
Like your superpower energy. So you start every page, you start with 10. So that's always going to be refilling back up. So you can spend more. I did not, but I could have spent another one to go to any adjacent one, even diagonal. I could have done that if I wanted to, spend another one down here. But I didn't. I just went to the 1 space. Is all I did in the last game that we played.
And these are locations that you're trying to secure.
Yes, and that would be the next thing. I go
Yes.
to secure it, so I flip it. I see what it is. In this case, it is Slab City International Airport. This is the final will have a picture on it. This is just for review. This is a beta for review copies, so don't judge on that. So then I was attacking it because I wanted to secure it, and he had the option of defending in this last game.
Yes. And it's then that we moved into the The fighting stage.
Yeah, the fighting stage. You've already shuffled your deck.
Yeah.
And you drew 6 off the top, and that was your starting hand. And then that's when the battle mat comes out. Now that's assuming the other player wants to defend.
Right.
You don't have to.
Right. What is the other method aside from defending if you don't want to defend?
If you don't
want to secure.
If you don't want to secure it, then it gets secured by the other team.
Right. Okay.
You can pass.
Yeah. All right.
So now the amount of cards that you're able to use out of your hand is based on location and space. So being 1, 2, 3 away, I had chosen 3 cards, and I put them out, and the opponent does the same thing, and then any clout that you need to spend on it, because if you want to take a look here, you see the bottom half of the card. You can see dots in that yellow bar, and that's what it costs if you want to activate the ability listed with that. So you got clout, you have civilians, and you have money. Clout is red, civilians are blue, money is green. That's how many dots you have to spend. So you would put like the 2 on it, the 1 here, maybe 3 here, whatever it was. And then after everything, you actually went through and looked at them right now, didn't you? You placed them in.
I
just randomly took off the top.
I wanted to get some of the art available.
Oh,
here.
Okay, good idea. And then after that's done, everyone. Oh, and you. Yes, after that's done, everyone then shows what cards they have.
Miss Montreal, Corporal Calgary, and Goldfinch.
Aztec Roja. Dr. DNA.
Phineas Phibbs.
The old Villains of Vigilantes role-playing game in the 80s had a great module, Dr. DNA. Obviously different.
Beautiful.
So then starting in the player that's the attacker resolves everything first, then the defender. First thing he resolves if there's any items, which here's a gizmo. So that could be attached to somebody. If I made the payment for it, then it could be attached to this guy. So now he has the gizmo. Mm-hmm. This is the way you attach items. Then if after that, then you start the lethal attacks. So anyone that spent points on something that's a lethal attack, a damaging attack, then it starts with the attacker, and all the damage goes to the person in the first, and they go into the discard.
They go into the landfill.
The landfill, sorry.
Yes.
Everything, and then everything moves down.
Shifts down.
And this combat will continue until one side wins.
And to activate the powers, you use your clout to, spend 2 clout to, what this says, deal 1 damage.
Yes.
Your opponent loses 1 civilian.
Mm-hmm.
You can also play civilians to get more powers as you play. So as you go through the fights, you actually get more resources to spend on better powers.
And if I had won that, then this says, and I'll show you on camera, this says, Slab City, move target team token. That player's controller cannot attack this turn.
Okay.
All right, so and it's, it gives me one blue, 1 civilian, and is that 2 green?
2 greens, 2 money, and 1 civilian. So you use that.
Again, there will be a picture of the final version of the card.
We have this
this one here.
That's the one we actually played with, the monolith.
And then if you secure that, after the whole page is done, the whole round is over, then you get to keep that on your side, and you get those abilities, you get whatever it's giving you. And that continues until either the opposing team's hero is defeated, or we got those.
Yes, this is the objective card that you were able to pull, and
Yes.
it has the objective for the game. So the villain's objective was to get 22 civilians.
Yes.
Which is kind of interesting because you're basically...
I need them for my experiments.
Captives.
I need 22 exactly.
You've started a cult.
There's going to be 21 betas, and then I'm rolling out 22 as an alpha, whether it works or not.
And me, as the hero, my objective was to defeat 10 characters. So that's kind of what sets the tone for the whole game. I was definitely in attack mode. I wanted to take you out. You, on the other hand, as you played, your goal was to get civilians.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to temper your powers and your abilities that you unlocked with these between gaining more civilians.
All right, so let's
yourself.
talk about this. Let's talk about this. That's really all the rules.
Yes.
Okay, not really missing anything that anybody needs to know anything about.
And it's just the nuance of trying to figure that out.
So you're not as active. I wouldn't say big. You're not as active a gamer on a consistent level as I am.
And I also don't know a lot of the language, a lot of the slang. I do play games, but I don't play enough games to see the patterns and the systems that somebody like you, who plays a lot of games, you're able to kind of like pick up. You're able to probably learn games a lot easier because you know a lot of the rules in advance.
My mind's wiring knows the path to follow.
Exactly. That's what I feel like what's happening.
All right, so
because you'll notice it took me a long time to pick this up. I was struggling. I was looking, but then as we started playing, the learning curve was greater for me than it was for you. But I did catch up relatively quickly. I think it was 2 rounds. I started to figure out what to do. I started to see the strategy. But yes, I don't play as many games as you.
Now, with that well explained, which is what I was getting to anyway with it. Let's start with you. What do you think the pros of this are?
The pros are you get to strategize. You get to figure out
strategery.
You get to turn a bunch of different knobs to figure out how you're going to play. I like that. I like the fact that you set up surprises for your opponents when these cards are laid face down. I like the reveal of that. I think that's good. And I like the building aspect. Like, I can choose to either attack you, grind on you, or I can choose to, start building for the future.
Getting other things that you may need, resources, money, or civilians. All right, so my pros about the game is I think that the way the rules flow, I think it works really well. I think the basic mechanics of the rules, once you get through them, and please, well, I'll get to the cons in a minute, but yeah. So once you get through the rules, and you see how the game is played, you understand how the game is played. Mechanically, it works good. It works really good. I like the way the delivery system for the rules work, how the resources work. I like, to a degree. I'll follow up on that in the cons. But mechanically, it works well. I was a little bit surprised because most 2-player combat card games are like the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Right.
And this did bring in some different elements, at least not that I'm used to. That's one of the things. I'm not a huge combat card player. I only have a couple in my collection. I've just never really gotten bitten by that specific board game geek bug.
Right.
You know? But it all works for me. And regardless of that, I actually did enjoy that. Now, any cons? Oh, wait a second. You know, I think we both would like to agree that the artwork on these cards is almost unanimously a pro. It's positive. It's all really good.
Yeah, it's excellent.
And even the ones that I don't think are really, really good are still good.
Right. I want to see more. I definitely want to see more.
All right, so anyway, getting back to, well, what do you think, if any, cons you have about the game?
I can't think of, too many cons. It was, I will say this. It was a little bit overwhelming to come into. Everything you needed to do, like all the setup I wasn't sure of. There was just a lot of information thrown in front of me. But like I said, once I was able to digest it, it started to make sense to me. I started to like it. But anybody who is a novice player or a sometimes player, I feel like would look at the setup of this game and be like, pull out the checkerboard.
So in your opinion, you definitely don't think this is a gateway game?
This is not, I don't think this is a gateway game, which is a shame because I think it's really simple to learn. It's deceptively complicated. It's not really that complicated once you figure it out. But I don't know if there was a way to like streamline it a little more. I'm not sure how to do that though.
All right, I kind of agree with you there, especially that last part. I think overall, I just want to get this out of the way, unless something else pops up in my head. But I think overall, my biggest problem with this game really doesn't have anything to do with the rules. As I've already said, I like the rules. I like the way they fit. I like the way they sit with the game. Yeah. It rolls out well. But thematically, that's my problem. And that could just be a very personal issue. There's a lot of people out there that are not into themes, thematic, what a game is thematically or what genre it fits into kind of thing, isn't what every single player looks for. They just look for whether they have fun with the game or not. Me, I like the theme to fit. And that was my biggest problem here was the heroes and the villains seemed a little bit one-dimensional.
Okay.
They have, even though there are multiple cards of, like, let's say Hammer, you have multiple chances to get him out. So I guess thematically, if he falls in combat, he always comes back again, out of the hospital, out of jail, or whatever.
Right.
I can understand that aspect of it. But what they can do is very limited, very one-dimensional. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you have to spend resources doesn't make a lot of sense to me with the superhero game.
Because a superhero game has immediacy.
It does. And, these clout tokens, which is the main thing you're using when you from what I can tell so far, is when you're dealing things like damage.
Right.
You're using a clout. To me, that feels less like a comic book and more like an MMO, like a World of Warcraft kind of video game, where when you do this power, it has this amount of cooldown time, and another power will have a faster cooldown time.
Right.
And it feels more exactly, actually, like an MMO game than the feel of a comic book does.
Right. Okay.
Money, I can see that a little bit. Outside of Batman and Iron Man, most heroes and what they do has nothing to do with money.
Yeah, so we had this discussion. I do agree with you that money maybe doesn't feel like the best fit. One thought I had was that it kind of works for villains. And the creation of power suits, like making money to hire huge gangs and
paying off minions and stuff.
Yeah, thugs.
Yeah, and I can see that too. I can give that to you. And I also kind of almost thematically make sense of the civilians.
Yeah.
So I guess the villain is getting them for his experiments or something. I need 22 civilians. I need 22 civilians exactly. I have an experiment. There will be 21 betas, and then I will roll out the final one. And I guess with the heroes thematically, it's that you're gaining fans and followers and good news reports and stuff. But it seems, I don't know, almost forced or pasted on. Not pasted on, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it's all that needed. Now, with that being said, though, because I do like the mechanics of the system so much, I really think that you could use the mechanics of this game system and create a Space Marines, sci-fi battle kind of game, and keep everything the same except for the picture on the cards. Instead of superheroes, they're aliens or they're Space Marine
versus aliens,
sergeants, and snipers and all the different specialties. And then that would make a lot more sense with the money because you're buying to upgrade your equipment. And civilians might be, instead of civilians, it might be COs, your commanding officers. The more you have of them, that's an influence.
Right.
Because they like you. And I just think thematically that would make a lot more of a better union than the superhero and the mechanics of this game. But like I said, otherwise I like the game. I like the way it's played. To me, it's just a few of the thematics. So any final thoughts?
That I would play this again. I'd play it with you again. I thought we when we got into the groove of it, we were having a really good time.
All right.
And I would say any beginner players, push through. Take some time with the rules, and I think you'll discover a very fun game.
Yeah, and the rules that we were playing with, I got updated rules from him, sort of a 2.5 on the rules, and that helped a bit. That's another con.
Mm-hmm.
They still need to work on the rules a little bit, tighten it all up. This was really cool. Final thoughts. I want to say this is really cool. I always love it when there's a little, cheat cards with a little information on it. Hopefully that the final version will have 2, so each player has one.
Yeah.
I actually think that's needed.
Yep.
Because you're sitting opposite each other. Also, the backside is blank. Okay, it's not a big deal.
Right.
It's not a need to have 2 of these.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if the back had some other information on it too, like turn order and maybe don't forget these rules, like rules that you might forget in the middle of the game.
Yes, that'd be a really good idea.
And so that would be nice. But 2 of these, that's a must. That's a need. Also, I hope that there's a deluxe version that comes out of this.
Right.
Where it has a box or a case big enough to have both of the boards and the battle board and the rules all in one instead of just having these just the deck, and then I gotta roll this up and find somewhere to put it.
Right.
But yeah, in other words, like you, I had fun with this game too.
Yeah.
I did have fun. I'll play this again. I'm actually hoping that there'll be an expansion.
Yeah.
So it can be a 4-player game, 2-on-2. That'd be interesting to see how they do that. But I like this. This is going to be coming on Kickstarter really soon. This is the end, the 3rd week in June.
Right.
It's the 3rd week in June right now. This is hitting Kickstarter like really soon. I'm sorry, Johnny. Johnny Hinkle, the creator of the game, Johnny. I forgot the exact date you told me. But this is coming up really soon. So check out the Kickstarter and give this game a shot. I think this game is definitely worth giving a shot.
Definitely. There's something there. You can feel the love that got put into this game. It's really, it's well thought out.
All right. I'm Big Johnny G. Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Tommy V. Check us out on Facebook. Subscribe to our channel right here on YouTube.
Yeah,
and check out
Panel by Panel, Page by Page,
also
podcast.
known as
PXPPXP. It's
a great podcast that Tom does where they sit down and they actually read a comic book and describe it panel by panel, page by page. And while they're doing that, they discuss it. They point out what's funny about it, the stupid things about it, there's something cool about it.
And we just expose a little bit of ourselves.
And that podcast can be found on where?
PXPPXP.com or anywhere. Stitcher, iTunes, anywhere you find your podcast.
Definitely check that out. And actually, I'm on an upcoming one.
Yes.
A little crossover here.
Yep.
All right, so we are out of here.